It is a bright and amazing Monday morning in December. Holy cow, it's so amazing. Like, how close we are to Christmas. My name's Joanne Kaminski, you guys, and I am the online tutor business coach, and I am here to really talk about a serious topic that a lot of us don't take seriously. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. And actually, it's going to help you be able to get more people saying yes to your tutoring services and bargain with you less. See, there's this little known secret that people have. When they're first getting started in things, they're really, really nervous. So I'm going to be sharing all about that today. How can you get better at it? How can you recognize that you've got problems with it? What can you do instead? We're going to be solving all of that for you guys. So keep listening. Today we are also going to be giving away another t-shirt. Woo woo! So excited about this, you guys. So we've got this t-shirt that we have been giving away for those of you that are commenting in the sidebar and joining us live. So it says, I will tutor you in a room. I will tutor you now in Zoom. I will tutor you in your house. I will tutor you with my mouse. I will tutor you here or there. I will tutor you because I care. So definitely come on in, tell us who you are so that you can get in this amazing drawing and win this t-shirt. All right, you guys, and I am going to be hosting next week a brand new training on how to create a profitable online tutoring business so that you have extra money left over at the end of the month. One of the things that I have found is that there are some tutors that are out there that, they're trying to replace their job and they have some money, but they don't always have the amount of money that they want at the end. Like, they have enough to pay their bills, and then they lose a student. And they start to kind of freak out, and they start to, question themselves if they're able to really do this. And I'm going to be sharing some secrets with you guys that are really going to make a huge impact with you guys. So I am going to put the link on inside of there so that you guys can join us with that specific training. And I am so excited that you guys are here. I want to personally welcome you guys. We've got Stephanie Terrell from Virginia. Welcome. Patricia Corcoran. She teaches young children English as a second language. Beth is in the house, who teaches Spanish. We've got Apexy Tutoring Solution in here. Joanne V is in the house. Woo woo. Joanne Ventavogel, so glad you are here. And we've got Max Pavlovsky. We've got Robin DeMarco. Oh my gosh, so glad that you guys are here. Robin tutors physics in Lockport. And we've got our Robert in the house. And who else is here? Okay, so you guys, so glad that you are here. And Patricia Corcoran. So you guys, we have lots of people inside of here being able to join us for this conversation. And I think it's a really important one because a lot of times we get stuck in some of the basics, right, when it comes to our tutoring business. And so this is one of the things that I actually learned when I was a network marketer. So in the network marketing world, like, I had to do this really uncomfortable thing, like make these calls to people. Like, they would give me their information. They gave me permission to call them, but then I would have to actually call them. And I just didn't feel like I was really good at having these conversations with people. They oftentimes they wouldn't take the action I needed them to take next. They weren't interested, or they said, I'd rather do this instead. They had all these different excuses. And then I listened to this guy in that company that was incredible. He had 100%, closing rate. It was insane. Every single person he ever talked to, I swear, went forward with him. It probably wasn't the case, but that's how, I saw it. And so I listened to him, and there was one major component that he had that I didn't have. And it was confidence. I was lacking confidence. I didn't know how to bring people to the next step without kind of stuttering and saying so now you're going to get onto this call and you're going to do this. And I didn't have that same authoritative kind of voice that he had. And that was a huge reason why I wasn't getting the kinds of results he wanted. on top of it, I wasn't really excited either about what I was doing. I kind of felt like I was just kind of going through the motions. And we can kind of do that with our tutoring business too. Like, okay, I need to get people to say yes to online tutoring. So maybe I'm messaging people on Facebook, or maybe I'm on Instagram and I'm connecting with people there, or maybe I've got a website and then they give me their contact information and then I contact them. And then what? Nobody ever talks about that conversation that needs to happen, right? This is a piece of the puzzle that completely gets skipped, okay? Nobody has ever been taught how to have this conversation. And when we're not taught how to have this conversation, how can we be confident about the conversation that we're having? So a lot of times when we get nervous, you know what we do? We talk all about us. Because we feel like we gotta sell ourselves to the person that we are having a conversation with. And that is the absolute wrong direction to go when it comes to being able to get somebody to say yes to online tutoring. So the steps are, when I want to be able to convince someone to have online tutoring, I first am going to invite them either to a free consultation or a free assessment. And I do it via Zoom. I want it to be face-to-face. No messaging back and forth inside of Messenger, guys. Get them on the phone where they can see you, okay? They're going to have a different impact when they can see you. Then when they can see you, I want you to hold yourself in a stature that gives confidence, right? And so if you're kind of like this and you're slumped over, that doesn't project confidence to me. You want to sit up straight. You want to look directly at that camera so it looks like you're looking directly at them and you're having a conversation with them. So let's say, how do you know that you might have a problem with confidence? Let's kind of dive a little bit deeper on into that. We have number one, you might be surrounding yourself with negativity. So if you're constantly having people say negative things to you, this could be one of the reasons why you're struggling with self-confidence, because we need to surround ourselves with positive people who say positive things. We can't always control that, right? But when we're constantly, it's almost like you're being brainwashed when you have people constantly telling you all this negativity. Another thing that you might do is you might apologize, okay, more than you need to. So everything, oh, I'm sorry about that. No apologizing. There is absolutely nothing to apologize for. It's one thing to say sorry when you really do need to say that you're sorry, but it's another to entirely take on everything as your fault. Because the minute that you do that, you're undermining yourself and your self-confidence by assuming responsibility for something that really isn't your fault. Another thing you might find yourself doing is you talk yourself down. And self-talk is such an important thing. You want to be able to say uplifting things to yourself. Now, I do catch myself a lot of times with a negative thought that goes through there. And I'm like, nope, Joanne, you are not going to go there. You do not have time to play in my brain today. And I kick it out. So we also have that ability to change what we're thinking and take control of it. Have any of you guys ever done this where you might be omniscient, like you think you know what the other person is thinking and you know it's something that's terrible. So you're assuming that you're not worth knowing or interacting with when you do this. Maybe you give in too easily. If somebody does, let's say somebody is bargaining with your prices for some reason, then all of a sudden you might want to give in automatically. Like, oh, okay, I'll do it for the $10 an hour. Right? So that would be a lack of self-confidence, that you can't own what it is that you charge and move forward. I've had a lot of people asking me lately, should I offer a sale on my tutoring services? This is your business, so you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I highly suggest not doing that, because you're going to bring in people at a lower rate that you're going to struggle with being able to increase the rate on. So if you're like, you can get this price for 2 months, what happens after the 2 months when you go back to your regular rate? Right? See what I'm saying here? So you're trying to do them a favor, but they aren't going to move forward with your new price, or it's going to be a really awkward conversation and they're going to still try to talk you down. So I would say, for your own self-confidence here, don't offer a sale for your tutoring services. Maybe you're too agreeable. Do you just say like yes to everything, even if it means that now you're devaluing your own time? This is a subtle way that's going to tear down your confidence and you don't even realize it. Do you hate to fail a lot? I mean, to some people, there's nothing worse than failure. But with this mindset, you see only the disaster when things go wrong, and then you take it personally. But here's what's happening. We are destroying our self-confidence as a result. Failure is a launching pad to learning how to do something better. Think about anything that was important to you that you wanted to learn how to do. Were you amazing at it the very first time you did it? Most likely not. You had things that you needed to do. You had to learn from your mistakes, and then you learned how to do it. Maybe you think everyone hates you. That would be a real confidence demotivator, right? It's kind of like being omniscient. You make assumptions about people. And this time you're telling yourself that no one likes being with you or no one wants to work with you. But if everyone else in the world hates you, it quickly becomes apparent that you're not fond of yourself either. Anybody here struggle with accepting compliments? Sometimes it's hard to accept a compliment, right? You just have to say thank you. But when you start to kind of rebuff a compliment and you're brushing them off, you're denying that positive affirmation that somebody is trying to give you. And you're also saying, you're not worthy of that compliment. You didn't earn that. You don't deserve that. And so you're now tearing yourself apart and kind of breaking it down again. Maybe you aim too high. Perfectionism, a lot of people, they think that perfectionism is a great trait to have. But honestly, perfectionism tells you that you're never good enough and it's never going to be good enough and you're never going to be ready. That kind of messaging creates a mindset of being a failure and it kills your confidence. Another thing that people who struggle with confidence struggle with are boundaries. So it's really hard to think of yourself and it's really easy to let people walk all over you. So when you do this, you're saying that your needs are unimportant and you're telling yourself that you're insignificant. And so your confidence then is battered off. Maybe you close yourself off. When you're not open to people, you're shortchanging both you and them. They never get a chance to know the real you, and you never allow them to affirm you in the ways that you need. Worse, you're telling yourself opinions and feelings don't matter when you constantly keep them to yourself. Maybe you refrain from forming opinions. Speaking of opinions, it's really essential that you know what you believe in. So when you refuse to take a side on an argument or a stance on some issue, you're negating your own thoughts and feelings. I know a lot of you guys, this is kind of depressing when we start taking a look at us. I know that there's a piece in all of this that I can find in myself, okay? And I think what's important here is not to beat ourselves up and see that, but know what are the cues that confidence could be an issue. We all struggle with confidence at some point, at some place in different areas of our lives. And we need to recognize it so that we know how to combat it. And the number one place where I see this being an issue, I'm going to say two places. Two places I see this being an issue. One, somebody not getting enough exposure on social media and the internet for their online tutoring business. They're not creating content so that they could be seen as an expert. So they're not blogging, creating videos, podcasting, getting featured in other blog posts. They're not doing any of these things because they lack confidence. Right? They think, well, who am I to be able to do that, right? Imposter syndrome pops on up for us. And so it's really important that you show up online so that people can get to know you and they know that you exist, okay? The second place that this shows up is having that sales conversation with people and trying to get them to say yes to your online tutoring business, okay? So you always want to make sure that you're being more curious about what their child is struggling with than you are about sharing your wisdom, how many years you've been tutoring or teaching, what degrees you have. None of that is important. What's important are the kinds of results that you can get for the specific child that's in front of you, okay? And in order to figure that out, like what kinds of results you'll be able to get them, you need to listen to what it is that they're struggling with. When you listen to what they're struggling with, you now are going to have a better idea of how to pitch them at the end. So it's kind of like this. So if I found out that a student was struggling with fluency and phonics, then at the end, I could say something. So you know how your child is kind of reading at a really low pace, and they have to sound out all of the different words. What I want to be able to do is help him make it really easy. I'm going to teach him 6 patterns, and these patterns are going to allow him to know what those vowels do. Ever notice how that's the trickiest part of reading? I'm going to unlock that for him, and then we are going to be able to close that reading gap really quickly for him. So are you ready to get started? So now I'm asking them, are you ready to get started with tutoring? They say, yes, I'm ready. Let's do that. I want that for my child. Right? And so here are the things that we need to make sure, like, how do I present that confidence? Watch the way that you're dressed. You know, when we dress up, don't come in your pajamas, right? Being in your pajamas or like your comfy clothes. Comfy clothes are good as long as they look professional from here on up. I don't care what you wear on the bottom. That's totally your thing. But taking care of yourself, grooming yourself is going to be important, because if you like the way that you look on camera, you're going to feel more confident talking to the person in front of you. So do the best that you can to be able to look the way that you want to be able to present yourself. It's really fun to be able to play with these background images and videos with Zoom. So this is not my real background, any of you guys that are here, but it does give me, like right now, it matches the season. It's very cozy. It's homey. You can do these kinds of things as well with Zoom if you're meeting them for the first time, and you can change the background. The other thing, smile. Nobody wants to work with a tutor that doesn't smile. So if you're having the conversation with them, try talking with people with a smile. If you don't normally talk with a smile, if you're usually a little bit more down to earth like this, and you just kind of talk to people, you need to be like up, bubbly, like 10 times your energy level before you ever talk to them. Because if you're talking to them and you're talking slowly and you're stuttering, that is not going to sell yourself. You are not going to show confidence in that specific point in time. So it's really important that you do that. Here's another thing. Do someone a solid. Like, do something good for somebody in your life out there. It's going to make you feel good and raise your energy level as well. Another thing that you can do is act as if. I want you to act as if you are booked solid. No lie, you guys. Okay, so how would you act if you were booked solid and you really didn't need this client? Sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves that we have to close this person right now. If we don't, then we're not going to be able to eat for the rest of the month. Okay? That's a little bit too much pressure. Some of us, that pressure like drives us to the next level, like Audrey Codner Gibson. And for other people, it puts so much pressure and you become so overwhelmed that it totally like hinders you from moving forward. But what if you didn't need this person to move forward with you, right? You're going to act as if you're completely booked solid. You only have one spot left. They're either going to take it or they're going to leave it. And I want you to go into every single sales conversation that you have that way. Never have your sales conversations via Messenger. Never have your sales conversations just on the phone. Get them on Zoom. Because once they see you, they now have a whole nother relationship with you. You might want to prep yourself ahead of time. Practice having the sales conversation with people during this entire thing. Use your family members. Use friends. Say, hey, I need to practice this sales conversation thing. We're going to pretend that you're a student that struggles with the area you tutor and you're looking for a tutor. All right, let's just practice it. And then ask them for feedback. What are some things that you liked about what I said? What are some things that you felt like I could have done differently? That's going to help you to be able to make some realizations on your own. And notice, what did you like too? Not only getting feedback from them, but yourself. What did you notice? What did you like about how you held yourself during that conversation? Did you feel confident when you were having it? The biggest way that people are going to not feel confident in hiring you is when you stutter. So if you say something like this, so I remember my VA, Beth, love her, love her, love her. She's going to be coming on in a couple seconds. But I remember one time she said, gosh, people just don't want to pay me what I'm charging. And I said, okay, well, let's pretend to have the sales conversation. We began having it right then and there. This is what it sounded like. So what do you charge? I charge $40 an hour. I was like, nope, there you go, right there. That's where the problem is. It's right there. Elizabeth, speaking of the devil, I was just mentioning you with this whole like telling the prices thing. I was like, oh my gosh, like, do you remember that conversation we had where I was like, okay, let's pretend to have this conversation, and you were like, okay, and then I'm like, so how much do you charge? And you were like, exactly. And I was like, there it is. So now when I say to you, how much do you charge, Elizabeth? What do you say? Excellent. Yeah, see? And look, did you guys see how she was smiling? Confidence. That's what's going to sell your tutoring services. So, number one, get them live on Zoom. Okay, because when they can see you, they're going to relate to you more. Get off of Messenger, texting, all that kind of stuff. You want to have an actual real conversation with them. Two, hold yourself with confidence. Make sure that those shoulders are held back. You're smiling, you're enjoying the conversation, and you believe that what you have to offer is of value and the value that you are charging. You guys can absolutely do this. If we fix our self-confidence when it comes to having this sales conversation and when it comes to showing up online, it is going to be a game changer for you. We got some awesome people in the house. Look at all this. We've got Lori here. I love this. So Lori, you guys, has this little tip that she has a picture with a smile to remind her that she needs to move her energy up a bit. You know what? If you need to drink coffee or have a Monster beforehand, you have my permission, guys. Like, get the energy up, because nobody wants to hire a dull, boring tutor, right? They want somebody who's going to be of high energy. Oh, they can't hear you. Yep. So let's do this. We are going to go to add output capture, and let's do that. Nope. Let's do this again. Yep, we didn't check the headset ahead of time, so we didn't get it. But you know what, you guys? It's okay, because we're still going to be able to do the drawing. So Elizabeth is going to share the screen. She's going to spin that wheel, and she is going to go... we're going to get to determine who gets to be our winner. Thank you for sharing with us, Dee, that you could hear Elizabeth. That was very, very helpful. All right, you guys, here we go.
All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Share screen.
Yeah, and look at that. Wow, you've gone from $8 an hour to $35 an hour. And how many years did it take you to get there?
Like a year and a half.
A year and a half it took her to go from 8 to 35. Anybody think that you could go get a job and go from $8 an hour, let's say at Meijer, and move up to a $35 position at Meijer? No, absolutely not. That's a local grocery store / like Walmart-y kind of store that's by us. So. All right, so she is going to click that wheel, and we're going to see who wins. Are you guys ready?
All right.
Oh, they can hear you now too. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Patricia, you are the winner today. Patricia, here's what you need to do. You are going to message me today the size t-shirt you would like and your address, and I am going to send you our t-shirt that looks like this. Dun, 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 dun. So definitely do that. You guys, I hope this helps you when it comes to confidence. Any tips you have for confidence, Elizabeth, as tutors are thinking about how can they really sell themselves without really trying to sound salesy and being confident?
Yeah. Work with Joanne. No, that'll do it really quickly. But no, for real though. But I would say no. The number one tip I have is to really know your worth and to really know it deep down. Because if you know your worth, then nobody can convince you otherwise or try to bargain with you or try to knock you down in your confidence. And if you really know your worth, you know what your value is and what results you can get, because parents are looking for results at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're not looking for credential. Well, I mean, some parents are, and that's fine. But if you know your results that you can get, then you can get somebody to pay what you're worth. And so that's really important. And to I always like kind of get myself kind of jazzed up before a sales or before a consultation. I kind of like, you know, I don't know, play some pepped up music or whatever you need to do to kind of like get yourself excited, because it should be fun. It should be like a good conversation, and then just really have fun with it. And then say, like, when they ask you what you charge, if they do, because they don't always, and you can attest to that. Take a deep breath and then just say it. Don't do what I did at the beginning, which they missed, which was go, I don't, I charge 25, like, so.
Yeah. So, and I think that at the end of the day, they're either going to move forward with you or not move forward with you. And it has
Right.
nothing to do, like, don't take it personally, okay? So just start paying attention. How many people do I have to talk to before I get yes? I've now made it to a 95%, where 95% of the people are moving forward with my services. This saves me a ton of time in my business because I don't have to have a lot of conversations and assessments that aren't going to lead into actual students. And so this is going to help you as well be able to notice, okay, do I have a 20% conversion rate? Do I have a 50% conversion rate? How and what can I do to get better at this? You guys, we need to always put ourselves in the learning seat. You can do this. I've got confidence in every single one of you. Now, on Thursday, you are going to get to see, some people have actually requested this. They said, those people who are Tutorpreneur Hero Award winners, where are they today? How are they doing with their business? And so we are going to have a special call on Thursday where I've invited tutorpreneurs to come and share where are they at with their business. And guess what? The coolest thing is some of them can't come. You know why? They're so busy with their business. And so I'm going to get to share with you what are their results with their business. You're going to get to learn hot tips from them. And on Monday, I am doing a brand new training. It is called How to Create a Profitable Online Tutoring Business so that you have extra money at the end of the month. I don't want a business where you are going to just have enough money, right? Just to pay your bills, or I want you to have money to be able to have fun too. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to have a profitable online tutoring business. Definitely click on the link inside of the chat to sign up for that. And that's what we've got for the next couple of days. So thanks for joining us, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye, everyone.